Breakfast with How Long Gone. It's 8 a.m. in Los Angeles. Jason, is the time different in the woods, or is it actually the same on the sundial up there in Sea Ranch?
Yeah, just because of the way the trees are and the mountains. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a different time zone sometimes.
You seem to be acclimating well to a slower pace of life, which is obviously my nightmare.
Nothing is slower than Sea Ranch in terms of paces, as you were just saying. It's like truly the slowest motherfucking place I've ever been to in the world.
It's so beautiful, and like it's really something special. I mean, I know we talked about it when I went, but it is.
We forgot though, the listeners. We
I
forgot.
have a 2-day max on something like that. But I feel like Country TJ could do this for a little longer. Am I wrong?
Interesting that you bring that up, Chris. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. We're doing like a 3-night thing here.
Mm-hmm.
But before we even put the keys into the front door of the house, Bay was already like, you know what? I don't know if 3 days is long enough.
Oh yeah, well this is
maybe we can extend the trip, which I'm okay with. It's just there's a lot of moving pieces, you know.
No, of course I know those Southwest flights from Burbank do get pricey since they don't have
money is not the issue here.
They don't have a loyalty program for Southwest because they.
Chris, I flew Alaska.
The Southwest, the other Southwest. Okay,
it gets much worse than Alaska, and you know that.
I've been to Alaska and it doesn't. But continue.
I'm not talking about the fine state of Alaska.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know that there's no Delta hub at Burbank.
That's true.
That's already cruel. But you know, I was able to upgrade to the luxury class on our flight. Premium seating, complimentary beverages, snacks.
So you were able to have. They offered you almonds instead of peanuts, which is a very nice upgrade. We can. That's an upgrade we can all agree is worth $100.
It was to upgrade the tickets from Burbank to Santa Rosa, California, $11.99.
Oh, damn! That's
$11.99 upgrade. So that means it was one of those flights where first class was just like anyone could take first class. Like it was like a $75 upgrade or something. So like even broke hoes were in first class looking down at me like, oh damn, I should have got this flight earlier. But it's like the biggest class divide of flights. Like even in the premium seating that I was in, there was a guy sitting in front of me who was, you know, he looked like he was homeless or something, you know, like he had no idea like how airplanes work.
Well, $11.99,
like he was on a phone call the whole time. So like it was a different
$11.99 upgrade is I mean, look, that's cheaper than the trail mix I buy at Erewhon. So it's like if you have one bourbon and Coke and one bag of almonds, not organic, not sprouted, of course.
Yeah.
Then you're making money basically for
I know that was my logic, and then I got to say like, yo, girl, you know, I'm just checking in for these flights for your little birthday weekend. I just want to let you know, since you are appreciated, I went ahead and I upgraded to the premium seating. And she's like, wow, great. I didn't know we got first class. And I was like, oh.
Look, let's see the airlines.
And then they would call like first class boarding. And she's like, is that us? And I'm like, oh.
Actually, baby, go get a smart water real quick while I go talk to them, because I'm trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what's going on.
You go get an alkaline smart water. I will fill up my Nalgene at the complimentary spigot.
The lines at the spigots are long these days. I tell you what. As a guy who loves to buy two Avions for every flight that costs me $12 and is obviously not great for the environment, the lines for the spigot have gotten so long that I feel like people are missing their flights.
Not at Burbank, at LAX.
Not at Burbank.
Yeah, when you go to the Delta LAX terminal, the line, you walk by and you're like, oh, is this the line for the bathroom, or the line to get into the baby changing station, or the line to get into the Admiral's Lounge? You're like, no, we're just filling up our Nalgene bottles full of Brian laundry stickers that we got at REI. And you're like, what the fuck?
Do you do you think the
I'm over water now.
Do you think do you think that some of these, also I've seen a lot of people in the airport recently. I can tell they're not doing this, but their gear makes it look like they're about to go climb Everest.
Sure.
But they're clearly just like going to visit their parents. And they're filling up, like, do you think that there has been some Brian Laundrie Nalgene fill-ups that have caused people to miss flights? Do you think they're not even they're so concerned with saving the environment as they get on a giant plane that destroys the environment that they miss their flight because they can't? Do you think it's about saving money, or do you think it's about saving the environment?
Yeah, it is not about saving the environment whatsoever. It's all money saving, and it's all like getting one over on TSA. It's like they get the satisfaction of being like, well, I know that you're not allowed to bring water onto a plane, but I can bring my empty water bottle and lug it around, and then I'll be able to gain access into this special world that's only for bosses who are fucking goats of air travel who can, like, not pay $5 for a water, and then you kind of feel superior.
I want to know, and this is a great man on the street thing for us to work on, is, we should see what the most popular water bottle is at LAX. Like, what brand is number one? It's definitely not Nalgene. It's definitely some shit you can get at Walmart in Modesto.
Oh, like what? Like, of all the reusable bottles?
Yeah, what is it? Is it Clean Canteen? Is it the one with the little logo of the man with the arms out? It's just so funny, because that to me is a new. It really is a new signifier of what tribe you stand with.
Well, I was thinking about this just yesterday when I was on my little hike, and of course it comes as no surprise to anyone that Sea Ranch is Nalgene country.
Of course, well, because Nalgene is the triple OG, and if you get a plain one, you're trying to say that you've been in this for a while. You did vote for Bernie. Your REI subscription is up to date. Your Subaru is gassed up, and it does have an extra holder on top for all of your camping gear, and obviously a bike rack.
Yeah, actually, the house I'm staying at, shout out to our friend of the show, Nick Weidenfeld. He's letting us crash here, but he has one of those vintage Nalgenes in the cupboard where there's no logos, there's no stickers in it. The only thing on it is the BPA free little kind of sticker tag on it. OG. That's when you know it's real OG.
That's
shit.
OG shit, and that's what you want, because any of this newfangled
these
shit,
TikTokers don't even know what BPAs are.
No, they don't know what BPAs are. They think that's a filter.
More concerned about BPMs.
That's the fucking problem. That's the fucking the other. Not the water bottle travesty of our society. Is a problem, but nothing's more of a problem than the indie sleaze account on Instagram, Jason.
Wow, come on, bro.
And I'm glad that you I'm glad that you brought up BPM, because we've reached another stage of the pandemic where people are now by choice reliving the ugliest era in history.
Yeah,
I liked it for about a week. And now I'm like, oh, this is turning into a look when I was hot situation.
It's a look when I was hot situation. To me, it feels way too Facebook-y. Like, it's just like the only good part about Facebook that, we've talked about this a bunch. You as a Facebook Zuck sympathizer and a Zuckaholic, you love Facebook, and I'm just like, no, Facebook sucks. It's terrible. It's the scourge of society, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, but you get to see all the people you went to high school with,
yes,
who flushed their life down the commode. And I'm like, okay, that's good, but still, it's not worth it. The pros and cons don't level out. So now we found a way to do that, to go down that road without having to install Facebook. Now I can just look on Indie Sleaze, all the people they tag, and like, I remember that fucking hoe. And then you go and you're like, oh, she got gray hair now and has like 4 kids, and you live in Montana.
There's a couple chicks I've seen on it particularly where I'm like, you're in a lot of these pictures. I've never heard of you. You were probably only passing friends with DJ Them Jeans, the czar of the entire scene, the linchpin of the mob.
It's not often I'm referred to as a czar. It feels good.
And then you click on the profile, and you're like, damn, you got 2 kids. You live in the suburbs. It really is Facebook. It's Facebook for Cinespace. It really is.
Spacebook.
I'm a little bit nostalgic, of course, and I like to think about my glory days of using cocaine and listening to bad music. But
the problem is, our glory days, whatever the revisionist history time frame or the timeline where our glory days align with whatever nostalgia twinkling happens in our brain of like, I need to look at old pictures of my life, whatever. Like that time has expired for us. And now the newer generation is like, what the fuck were you guys doing? I remember this like when I was like a little kid, like I was a little too young to know what Uffy was or whatever. So they look at it as like very interesting archival things and weird. Just like, yeah, that was our shitty life. It's not cool. And I think that's been happening forever, as long as people have been sort of documenting things like, you know, like you see some old like skate book or some art book or some whatever thing, and like, this is what it was like back in the day. And then the young kids are like, wow, this is so crazy. You guys did it so differently back then. And then you talk to somebody who's real from that era and they're like, yeah, it fucking sucked. Look how fucking stupid it was.
Yeah, it's
there's always going to be somebody cool out there who said, this cool shit was not cool. Trust me.
I mean, look, cool, fun. I mean, it's not even. Yeah,
it's like John Waters talking about the era versus Andy Warhol talking about the era.
I want to know who. I imagine the person behind the Indie Sleaze account definitely didn't live through it and is probably like lives in Ireland or something. Well, no, I think you have to be that disconnected to like care that much.
It's just a wee project. Me and my, I started in Cork. They started in Cork. I found all these JPEGs online from a different era.
Can you say skeets? Can you say skeet in that accent, please?
He's crypto guy Trevor. He used to be skeet.
God damn it!
He used to skeet in the club with Katy Perry. She's got a residency.
God damn it. It's too good.
She sings to a poo.
Well, I'm really appreciating this. I'm also really appreciating this Adele thing because she lied and said it was COVID related, and now it's come out that her delay is basically like she was having fucking meltdowns screaming at the set designer because they couldn't get it right, and they just pushed it because of that, basically.
Diva mode.
I mean, of course she's a diva. She's too rich and famous to not be when it comes to this kind of stuff, but like she has a pretty shiny reputation up until this point. So I wonder if people are going to care or even really notice this.
What exactly is she doing production wise? I mean, I was just making the Katy Perry residency joke, but you know,
that's production.
She has like fucking fireworks and animatronics and all that. I mean, I feel like an Adele concert just gonna be like, do some sexy lighting.
Well, that's the
couple outfit changes. Like, I don't think she's gonna have fucking pyrotechnics and a LCD screen.
Well, I think that's the problem. Jason. She's not going to have a singing turd and toilet, but like Christian artist Katy Perry.
Don't come for Demi Lovato, Chris. Come on.
No, Demi Lovato is the turd. Actually, she's not in this case.
No, when you said the singing turd,
I know, I understand. No, I think the issue is that normally Adele's production is quite pared back and grown and sexy, but I think she was feeling the pressure and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas.
Oh, so she went to Vegas. Yeah. She went to Las Vegas for a couple meetings with the Aria group.
yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll go to Katana, and then Marshmello's playing at Omnia, and she's like, I gotta fucking step this shit up. God damn it.
Yeah, I can't have Marshmello out doing
Marshmello. He's like, yeah, every Friday night, Marshmello kills a guy on stage, and like Adele's like, fuck me. Fuck me, I gotta step it up.
Damn, she's gonna have to have LeBron come out every day.
She's gonna have to suck LeBron James's dick Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are the tougher seats to fill. Fridays, she's fine.
Weekends are good. I wonder if apparently I saw on the internet somewhere that the merch store is still open, like because it's supposed to launch this weekend. So there's like, of course in Vegas it's like a full mall of Adele stuff in the Caesars. Yeah. I think Caesars is where the show is, and women are in there like mad and like demanding answers from the employees. which is just
so Kayla, who works at the coffee mug section of the Adele store, is having to basically doing her PR work.
Yeah. She all of a
just
sudden
putting out a lot of fires.
She's all of a sudden a high-powered PR executive in Hollywood.
My client has no statement at this time
because a group of 10 Karens from Indianapolis touched down because they didn't want to lose their deposit.
I don't care about these uncertain times, bitch.
I want to see Adele. I want to cry. But I mean, it's not, she, like I said, she rarely gets bad press. So I think this is going to, I mean, I just don't, when celebrities go on the internet and cry, there's nothing I have less patience for. Like, no one feels sorry for you. It's just not. It's not going to happen. Like, you can cry all you want.
So she went in and cried about having to postpone her Vegas concert.
Yes, because like all other,
and she's like, I just wanted to do this right for you guys. It's all 100%. About you guys.
Yeah, I love my fans.
Right.
Because I guess the fans are that stupid that they actually believe the fans believe that it's about them and not money. Like, there's nothing that says I love my fans more than not coming to their city and posting up in Las Vegas and making you come to me. that really shows that I love my fans.
Well, you know it's kind of interesting because I would like to like take a deeper dive as to like what kind of artist somehow skirts the responsibility of having to do that. Like, when some bands or some singers or performers or whatever, when they postpone a show for whatever it is, COVID, a medical injury, sometimes it's just like, oh, here's a statement we released, or like the label posted a thing on the Instagram stories, or, you know, like, hey guys, so sorry, I'm going to have to push it back, do a tweet, XO, kissy face. And then some other people, do they feel the need to do it, or are they forced to do it for some reason, to do like the video live Zoom confessional crying?
Well, I think it goes up. I think it's based on ticket price.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I think a little bit like if you're a, you know, cool indie artist that's, you know, you're on Fat Possum and you have 10 shows booked and you got to
Shorty got a Fat Possum. Speaking of Adele,
you just post a tweet and you keep it moving, you reschedule and you talk to your agent. It's all good.
Right.
If you're Adele and you've made this big announcement and tickets are $50,000, you kind of have to go. You have to go on a proper
price is it.
Yeah, a proper apology tour is the minimum you can do, because I'm just going to guess here. I haven't looked into this. I'm going to guess here. Refunds maybe aren't available. I think because the dates are rescheduled, that you don't get a refund. So you lose all the money you spent on your Vegas trip, or you just go and then gamble your light bill away and come back even more broke than you were before, and then have to go back.
Right. You the flights were already booked, the hotels. Yeah, that's a tricky situation. And none of these people want the refund. They want to go to the concert. They know they're going to go.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, well, my kid's not going to be able to go to college this year because mama had to reschedule her trip.
A weekend in Vegas to see Adele for a family of 4 is the cost of a full year of community college, if not more.
You said tickets are $50,000. This is fucking Stanford.
No, I'm kidding. Tickets aren't actually $50,000, but they're quite expensive.
No,
they're like,
I saw they were being scalped for one person was scalping a ticket for $40,000. So you're not too far off from the truth.
Who would pay? Like, that's just like that seems insane to me. I don't think somebody who has $40,000.
It seems insane to spend $40,000 on a concert ticket. Yeah, you're fucking right. Unless it's like a one-on-one concert and you get a fucking fully filleted at the end of it or something.
So if Oasis plays for me alone at Glastonbury and I get topped by Liam, it's worth $40,000.
Well, that's the problem. You got to split that $40,000, you know, with the whole band.
So you're saying solo artist you can get for 40, but band you're looking at 200.
Yeah, well, you know, Liam and Noel, they make a little bit more than Bonehead. Sure, it's a sliding scale, but Bonehead's still gonna get, you know, $3,500 for a piece of head.
Oh shit! Bonehead $3,500 for some top.
Yeah, Bonehead was like, shit. I was told that I would be receiving a quote little 10-piece for my efforts this weekend, and they're like, oh no, it is not it is not a 10-piece for you to go blow up at the Caesars at the Caesars Mall. You in fact will get a little 3,500 piece.
But it's USD, which is actually unfortunately less than quid. So you're kind of, I'm sorry,
which
Bonehead.
is good because Bonehead has had his eye on the new MacBook Pro. He won't be able to get it fully loaded, but it's really going to make a lot of his emails and some of his stuff work.
Bonehead was really upset when they got rid of the touch bar. So I'm glad that he's.
He has made it no secret the way he feels about the trackpad and the touchpad and everything.
I believe that he is dabbling in electronic music now, like a lot of aging Britpop legends. So hopefully the Ableton loads a little faster on the new machine.
Bonehead is Peter hooking right now.
Yeah, he's Peter hooking with our 3,500.
Going back to my flight when I was on that beautiful plane. First of all, we were sitting next to a young woman who stopped me and said, "Hey, I'm sorry. It would be my group chat would not forgive me if I didn't say hi. Well, I'm a fan of the pod, so
it's not cool if you were sitting next to her on the flight. It's only cool.
I was technically sitting next to her because it was a smaller plane, so the rows only had 2 seats each. So I was in 7D, she was in 7A.
Let's talk about what was the vibe.
The vibe of what? The interaction?
No, this fan.
She was just she was like a very chill chick. Like, she's from Orange County. Her and her boyfriend live in like Silver Lake. It's like, I don't know what. I didn't really talk to her too much, but
she fit the demo. Is what I'm saying. It wasn't like a big surprise. She fit the demo.
No. It wasn't a surprise. She was like a cool professional woman of some sort. I don't really know what. I think maybe there was a fleece. We were on a Burbank to NorCal flight. Fleece was involved.
Wait, what airport? Where did you say this flight?
She was reading a book.
Well, that's good that she was reading. I appreciate that.
She knows how to read and shit. It was good. She's a good demographic.
Good. What is the because the flight time is like 45 minutes.
It's like an hour.
You were going to Santa Rosa, is that what you said?
Santa Rosa.
I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar with this. So if you
Santa Rosa is where it's the crossroad, the crossroads of art and tech. This is the crossroads of wine and marijuana.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's wine country, so like it's close to Napa and Mendocino and all that shit. But then it's also a stone's throw away to like Humboldt County.
Okay. So you could share.
Blake and Tyler are gonna go trimming at Ricky's fucking indica garden.
So you could share a bodacious Merlot with Gavin Newsom, or you could get some mid indica.
Yeah, it's such a weird vibe up here because I was saying yesterday, it's like stoners with guns. It's like people who are like, oh, it's all good, man. Like, I'm just, like hippy dippy kind of vibes, but also like
I keep that thing on.
They also have guns, and they're also like probably like MAGA people. They're like MAGA stoners. It's so weird.
Well, I think the weapon thing is partly because they have valuable crops and the banks won't take their money.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think there's a little bit of like we have to protect ourselves, of course.
Yeah, there's that, and also it's just, I'm out here. You're out here in the cold, dark woods. I haven't seen a single police officer the entire time I've been here.
Well, that's cool.
I mean, let alone like a light so you could see the road. Like it's you're out here. If something goes down, you're on your own, brother.
You got to protect yourself. Did you bring your Glock, or you can't fly with that, I guess?
No. Well, Nick has one here. I just made sure.
Oh, that's great.
I had to check the serial. I made him do a video where he kind of took it apart and put it back together. Make sure really nice. Everything's all clean, and we're good. So I have the blicky on me.
So when you guys go for a hike, just in case someone approaches you, you're able to squeeze off if the assailant.
Yeah, it hasn't got. Yeah, if I'm ever, like, hey, I reserved court 1, or something. If something goes down over at the courts, I don't have to shoot anybody. All I have to do is kind of lift up my my PK polo shirt
and just show a little bit of that.
Just a little bit of the chrome, and that'll kind of keep them moving after that. Works every time.
It does work every time. I heard a great gun story yesterday.
Gun story, okay.
Yeah, I guess this was a big story in Florida. Like Jonah, I hung out with Jonah from Blackbird Spy Plane. and
Jonah.
publicist to the stars, Nick Darrell, and
okay.
at Maru, and Jonah was like, "Have you heard the story?" And I'm like, "No." And I'm gonna obviously get some of the details incorrect, but the gist of it is,
I'll fill him in.
some sort of Republican politician in Florida driving like a big, American made SUV, like swerved out of his lane and hit a Prius. And they pull over, and the Republican politician is losing his fucking mind. He's like screaming and yelling, and then he just T-bones the Prius and like pushes it just because he's still pissed. And he's like screaming and yelling, and then he pulls out a fucking gun with like a scope on it and starts shooting at the guy in the Prius.
What?
And the guy, yeah. After the guy in the Prius was like, "Bro, this is too crazy. I'm gonna call the cops. Like, this is too much." He pulls out the blicky. He starts squeezing. the guy in the Prius said, "Oh, you must have got me fucked up," and pulled out his own gun and killed the guy.
What?
Yes.
How is this not?
Exactly.
How have I not heard this news?
I don't know, because I hadn't heard it either, and Jonah was like, and Nick, I don't think Nick had heard it either. And Aaron, Jonah's partner was there, and I mean, she'd obviously heard it 15 times from him, which was pretty funny. but
So a guy in a big old truck hits a guy in a little Prius. He's so pissed that the Prius was there in his way that he revs it up, T-bones him. Probably does not leave a note on the windshield wiper.
no, they're in the cars. Like, this all happens at once.
So close range with a scope, and he's trying to shoot him.
A close range, bro. Yeah, close range, and he misses.
And then Prius has to
the
no scope him with a pistol. Shout out to my COD players.
But Prius was just like, "Oh, you thought I was a pussy because I drive electric car? You thought wrong,
So
player."
do you like this liberal tale? This tale of liberal victory?
I love it. I love it so much. The fact that also the Republican politician's wife was like, "He's such a good man. All he wanted to do is bring people together." And there's like a story a year ago where he literally did the same thing. It's like the same story, but he just didn't get killed.
Sounds like Lil Mama is not servicing my man correctly. He's got too much road rage going on.
Too much rage. But I mean, that's like the ultimate Florida tale, I feel like, because it's just, and the cops got there and they didn't even put the guy in handcuffs. They were like, "Well, yeah, you right to carry."
No, that's the sweet. Yeah, I mean, you're not allowed to just pull your gun out and start shooting at somebody, but if somebody is trying to kill you, you have the right to defend your life, and my man got to squeezing.
That's
crazy.
Really,
but then
story.
it's like, oh, now because this random guy had road rage, like, sure, he's dead. That's, I guess maybe it's a good thing that he's not walking the earth anymore, but now this guy's like, well, I have to go to sleep every night knowing that I, killed the guy. And maybe he's stoked on that, but it might,
no, I mean,
fuck him up psychologically.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
take it from me. Once you take your first person's life,
I was about to say, I know
it'll start kind of playing tricks with your head a little bit.
I know. After Desert Storm, you were never the same, and it's something I think about.
Don't try to squeeze in an old joke.
No, that wasn't a joke. That wasn't an old joke. That was just the first war I could think of. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm sorry. That's not a personal attack on your extreme age. But wait, I'm sorry. We should go back. What was happening on the plane? I thought there was more on the plane.
So there was a guy in front of me. He was kind of like, I don't know, he's maybe like 50 years old, but he was dressed like a teenager in the 90s.
In a cool way?
In a mind-blowing way. He was basically like an Orange County Matthew McConaughey guy.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the Beach Bum?
Yeah, great movie. Underrated Harmony Korine film.
Great underrated film. Basically, this guy was that Beach Bum, like stoner dude, like hair all fucked up, wearing like flip-flops on an airplane, just totally out of it, drunk, stoned, all that shit. But he was wearing head-to-toe LRG, lifted research. So he's a white guy, like total like stoner surfer white guy, like kind of vibe. Head-to-toe LRG sunglasses, LRG camo all over hoodie, red LRG t-shirt.
Okay.
Like I got to thinking that he was like an LRG sales
I was about to
rep
say
some tertiary market.
I was about to say either he started LRG or there was a sale at LRG TJ Maxx.
I'm leaning more TJ Maxx, but he was on a phone call the whole time, speakerphone call, with his white wraparound LRG shades on, kind of like a Guy Fieri style.
Was he making a deal or was he talking to his chick?
He was complaining to his bro him that he wasn't going to get paid for any of his sales for that time period, for that pay period. And he was talking to his friend who was like hyping him up to be like, yeah, fuck that guy. You should tell him what's up. And then like being on a conference call with his boss and like telling him to fuck off.
Damn.
So I got to hear it all like happen live, you know, in real time.
Did this inspire you to give me a call and tell me to fuck off?
No. Well, I mean, if you start playing with my pay period, you know, my hours, my time card, all the info's in there. You can't fucking fuck with that. But he was talking to this guy, and it's on speaker. The whole plane can hear. He has no idea. He's like ignorant to all of this going on. The flight attendant keeps telling him he has to stop talking on the phone. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I finally get a glimpse of his like speakerphone, like who he's talking to. And the guy he's on the call with is just a single name, no first last name. It's just one name, and it says Rambo.
Dude. That to me feels very NorCal, and I don't even know that much about NorCal, but it feels appropriate. Like this man was going home.
No, well that was exact because the whole reason I knew about him. First, he was sitting in front of me, and I could see his head bobbing around because he was just like bumping. I don't know what he was bumping. I got a glimpse of his phone. I thought he was playing a piebald track, but that didn't make sense. But he was like bopping around, and every time that would happen, the girl who is a How Long Gone listener would look at me and like look at him, like give me the eyes, like you better be talking about this on the episode tomorrow, kind of thing. And I was like, what do you think is up with this guy? And she was like, yeah, he definitely is going home right now. Like he's like definitely a local, but you know, he could also be an Orange County bro who's going up as well. I don't really know what it could be.
You never know. Well, you know, I this reminds me of somebody I was sitting next to on my flight back from New York.
Okay.
She boarded the plane extremely late, and there's a type of person you see specifically on a New York to LA flight where everything on their person is logo designer.
Oh yeah.
Like she had the big Dior tote bag. She had a Louis Vuitton blanket in the tote bag. Yeah. All of her clothes, literally every piece of clothing was designer. She had like a Louis Vuitton makeup bag out on everything is designer. And it makes me think that you're lying. Like when you have that much designer logo clothing, it makes me think you're poor.
Well, yeah, there's no subtlety in it, and that happened when I remember when we went on tour. We were checking in at one time. There's that guy who was wearing head to toe Dior. He had like a Dior like dog carrying case, Dior belt, Dior socks, Dior pants, backpack.
Oh yeah,
Dior barrette in his hair. And at a certain point, you're like, this is either all fake or you spent your life savings on this one look.
This is all the money you have.
All the money that you have.
What I mean, this is all the money you have. But I mean, I couldn't get enough. I was just like, damn, this is so much designer shit you can barely put. But then you got the Away rolling bag. I don't know, Chief. Like that's crazy. Away is having an Away suitcase is at this point like driving a car they don't make anymore.
It's a Saturn.
Yeah, it's actually a Saturn SUV. It's a Nissan Xterra. It's like it's just like
and the best part is millions of people have to deal with the Away problems every day. Like every TSA person across the world,
you got a battery in there
because of you have to take out the like. Does your suitcase battery?
Remember how short lived that was? There was a year period where every suitcase had a battery in it. That is so fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. That is so stupid.
My dogs at Toomey would never do that.
That's so crazy that was like the trend. Like you had to charge your phone so badly. You forgot to plug your phone in before you went to the airport, and you just might need to charge it in a bag that you checked.
Like suitcase with a battery, that's our indie sleaze.
It really
we don't
is.
want that.
It really is. It's so crazy that was like a trend to me. I totally. But Away.
Well, speaking of trends, Chris.
Yeah, I love trends.
While I was up here,
did you pick up some local beans or?
Yeah, there's some local beans. I forgot where it's from. But I'm
That's nice.
when I'm on holiday up in the woods, I got the French press going, and I'm making a little.
Oh, baby.
The country coffee is a little warmed over milk with some local honey for just to keep the allergies at bay. Keeps it kind of nice.
This is disgusting. Did
A little
you?
something sweet on holiday, but when I was there's 2 supermarkets in town, or 2 markets.
Yeah. Did you go to the cool chic one, the one that I like?
Well, we went to both. There's the Gualala market, and then there's the surf market, and they're both on the same street, across the street from each other, and it's literally like a political divide. Like, we went to the surf market the first night we got in. We ran in like 5 minutes to spare before they're closing, and like bought like a bunch of water and whatever, things to get us through the night, kind of thing. Gluten-free pizza, whatever it might have
Stuff
been.
desperately
And
needed.
like, I'm walking in, I'm like, oh, thank God you guys are open. Like, we're just hoping to get like some pre-made sandwich or whatever, because there's nothing else open and we had no food or anything. And I walk in, and the first thing I see, the alcohol display is a Gia end cap, and I'm like, oh, honey, I'm home. Honey, I'm home. Do you guys have any granola that's $18 a bag? Oh, you do? yes, bitch. So we went. I spent $100 on just like pretzels and water. Like
Perfect.
exactly what you're hoping to get. And then we went to the Gualala supermarket across the street. The first thing I see, just like people who have like Native American like neck tats, but they're like white and on meth, and like wearing like camouflage motorcycle racing jerseys and have no teeth.
This is the 2 sides of TJ, is what I'm hearing. But continue.
2 sides of TJ. It is. I mean, it literally is. I mean, the similarities of NorCal and Orange County are so specific. It's just that NorCal has less money, I guess, overall.
Yeah.
County. Like in Orange County, it's like middle class, upper middle class, and then Northern California, it's like $10 million house and have no teeth.
Yeah, there's
nothing in between.
Yeah.
There's a country living and there's the beach living. But anyway, to show how crazy this was, I'm in line at the country supermarket with the bad people who are poor. They're so poor. They're so fat. Oh. And I'm surrounded by all these slack-jawed yokels, diesel driving motherfuckers. And there's a guy who looks like Nav in there, rapper Nav.
Damn! Shout out to Nav.
And he's got the Nav Edgar haircut. He's wearing Stone Island.
Oh, he's got the Stony on.
He's got the Stony sweater on. I think he has like some Stony kind of like. Like a a cargo, like track pant kind of runner.
Yeah.
He's dressed kind of like Drake from 3 years ago. And he's like running around like, oh, he's trying to find the batteries. He finds the batteries. He's in line behind me. He's like, oh, man, I was trying to find these batteries. It's crazy.
I didn't know that. I didn't know the MPC took batteries. I thought you plugged it in.
Well, he's traveling. He's in the Sprinter.
Okay.
He's going up the coast in the Sprinter to just kind of see what the environment inspires his beat making.
Okay. And
that's actually really interesting. I got to talking to him. But so I buy the shit, whatever. He buys his batteries. I go out to the car and I leave. This guy, he had a wife and 2 kids, and they were doing the thing. I mean, this is unfortunate, but a thing we've all seen where it's like a woman and her children holding a sign up on the sidewalk saying like, hey, any money, anything, will help out. Food, water, whatever. They had fallen on some hard times. And I'm like, this guy is wearing a $600 sweater, and they're begging for money on the sidewalk. What's going on here? And it wasn't like clearly you worked at Tesla and you were bawling, and now you're homeless and begging for money on the freeway. I was like, are you guys faking it? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's really weird.
It was odd to me. But that's just like classic Sea Ranch to see an unhoused person wearing nicer clothing than myself.
That's really strange. That's really, really strange.
There's another weird part I didn't know that I don't know if you noticed it about here, but everywhere you go, they have air purifiers, and they're set up in a way that's kind of like performative. Like normally you would have an air purifier and you'd like want it to be like hidden away, sort of, or like not on display.
They have these things out,
but like wherever you go, it could be a store, it could be a restaurant. It could be a bar, whatever it is. Every single room has this big kind of dumb plastic thing. And also the house I'm staying at, there's one in the bathroom. There's one in like the laundry room. And is it like a fire thing?
Oh, maybe.
Because I'm up in the woods the air is so pure. There's no.
There must be some.
I'm already in the purest air in California.
If it's that ubiquitous, there must be a reason for it that only
NorCal Sea Ranch junkies sound off in the comments.
Yeah, NorCal. But I mean, have you written your next album? I mean, are you feeling just so inspired by the big trees and the clear views of the ocean and the planned community vibes, or are you kind of are you still decompressing from your stressful life as a podcaster?
I would say somewhere in the middle. I mean, I'm using this trip to not.
So you didn't bring a new moleskin? You're just using last month's?
No. I'm going inward, Chris. I'm not creating anything. So, like yesterday, for example, we did a rare wake and bake.
Oh,
to really kind of set things off.
So you woke up, you had some country coffee, you rolled a Swisher, and you got to it?
No. Swisher before country coffee.
Damn. Oh, so you really waked and baked. So did you bring a bowl? Don't lie.
I did not bring a bowl. No, well, the weird
smoking a bowl at Sea Ranch feels very appropriate.
It does feel very appropriate, but I had the presence of mind to roll a couple doobies.
Because you're not a great roller from what I've seen.
I'm not. But I got the raw cones.
Oh, that's cheating. Cones, raw cones is cheating. That's
I know. We've gone over this 1,000 times. It's bumper bowling, sure.
I just want to reiterate, it's pussy shit. Continue.
It is pussy shit, and I got high as a giraffe's pussy yesterday morning. So because we drove in the night before. We got in like at 8 o'clock or something, and it's pitch black. The whole city's pitch black.
Yeah, it's dark as fuck.
There's no street lights. There's
like
no
real
ambient light. It's like, if you've been to Sedona, they're like, you have to turn all your lights
Don't
on.
bring up ambient. It's too early for that.
So we got in and we, dropped our bags off, went to bed, whatever it was. So we had no idea what the outside looked like. We had no idea where we were. All you can just see is like the road in front of you. If you have your brights on, you could see a tree or two. So we woke up yesterday morning. Then we got to see like the outside for the very first time as the sun is coming up.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
It was like this very it was a wonderful reveal. I'm sure, whatever Adele was trying to work out with curtains up paled in comparison to what I was going through. And then we're like, let's blaze up a little bit. And, 2 little puffs for whatever reason. I was Jumanji high. I was just gone for I was baked for fucking 7 hours.
Damn.
Like I was swerving at night because of that.
Damn, TJ really.
But it was really sick, man. It was great.
Yeah, getting high is cool. You don't have to tell me.
And then I was so high that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stretch for an hour and listen to some violin and cello.
Oh my god.
And then you know what? I'm gonna slowly build a fire out of kindling that I foraged from the woods. And then just stare at how beautiful fire is for maybe 5 hours.
This is my nightmare.
I know it's your nightmare, but my life partner, she's she can get wound up sometimes, just like you. A little stress, a little anxiety, whatever.
We're called earners. That's kind of
you earners.
That's what we do.
You people who make the money for us, us bimbos out here.
Yeah,
I mean, we need you. But she was the first day, she was just like, I'm so it really worked. It was it's hard for you guys to settle down, hard for you guys to chill out and just
I'm glad to
vibe.
I'm glad to hear that,
and it really worked.
I'm glad to hear that. That's nice.
It's healing.
Yeah, I bet by the end of the day you're gonna be ready to go. But yeah, I mean, heal all you want, bro. Because Big Daddy's back in town. He's ready to crack the motherfucking whip.
Okay, well, and also the tennis courts here in Sea Ranch.
Beautiful.
Holy shit. And I somehow, and we were playing tennis yesterday on these immaculate, pristine courts overlooking the ocean, grassy fields, just could not be more idyllic. I felt like I would, and these are free public courts as well. It's not like some crazy country club or anything like that. Mind blowing. And I'm still fucking pretty baked playing tennis. And normally when we play, it's just me hitting the ball to her and being she's frustrated, I'm frustrated, no one's having a great time. And for I'm so high that I'm explaining how to hit the tennis ball differently for the first time in my life. about like the essence and the spirit of this top spin or some fucking bullshit, and it dead ass works, and it clicked.
Oh,
and she was like, "Oh shit, I can like feel it now. I know how to hit a tennis ball now." And then she started like, so she's got her spin
YouTube
now.
Bozos.
It was a breakthrough.
YouTube bozos high. Like, no, it's not about like your elbow. It's about like the idea of the ball.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
And you'll know it. I can take you to the water, but I can't make you drink it. And you'll know the feeling once you connect.
Jesus Christ.
And normally it would be like, yeah, okay, pussy, whatever, shut the fuck up. But then this time it was like, by golly. It was a eureka moment.
Well, it sounds like you should be high all the time, and people would like you more. Is what it sounded like to me. But
you wouldn't be the first person to tell me that.
I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. That's just like a theory. So it's something to consider. You know,
Okay.
What if TJ became a wake and bake guy?
Dude, I don't know if that would work out super great, but maybe, you know, obviously it is challenging to go through life when you're woked and boked. But maybe like once a week, like every Saturday morning is a wake and bake time, because it really is like, you know, like once a week some person might go to, you know, hot Pilates or something like challenging for them, where like you can't do it every day, but like, all right, on Sundays I'm going to do my half marathon, or I'm going to do my hot Pilates, or whatever grueling, you know, CrossFit thing it is.
Yeah.
And the wake and bake, even though it is like a relaxing, pleasurable experience, you're just like stoned and like eating fucking pancakes and watching cartoons or whatever. But it's also like a white knuckle type of high where you're like discombobulated, you're out of sorts, because this is like your clear-headed morning moment, and you're all out of whack, and now suddenly you have to figure out how to do all this stuff really high, and you could learn a lot.
It's really tough to shower when you're high. I agree. So I hope you
do the hard work. You know, put in the work. It ain't easy. But as we're closing out, I did want to do some restaurant complaining, Chris.
Oh, my favorite. I can't wait for you to destroy another small business.
Also, I was talking yesterday about or we were listening to the podcast on the flight, and we were talking about Indochine. And my life partner let me know that Indochine is a very washed restaurant, and it is actually Vietnamese.
Yeah, I'm clear on all of that, but I'm telling you, I went there and the place was fucking packed and it was good.
Well, that was more of a correction on me, because I asked on the episode, what are some of you like Indochine, name 5 Indonesian dishes or whatever, and you said I got the kale salad. We all had a laugh, but she was letting me know like, oh, it's not Indonesian food, it's just Vietnamese food.
Yeah, that.
So I just wanted to let the record straight, just a classic airmail style correction.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's very important that we correct that. But what
you have some restaurants to complain about yourself, Chris?
No, I only went to restaurants in New York that served me well: Balthazar, Indochine, St. Ambrose, and ABCV. Chris Classics that always deliver, baby, and that's why I don't like to try new things.
Never out of style. They're always there for you. I get it. Well, I'm happy for you.
What kind of experience did TJ have?
Well, since it's Bay's birthday week, you know, we were doing some dining, and there was like an A/B comparison. These are LA restaurants. I'll do some complaining about a restaurant here as well. Fuck it. But we went to, there's a place called Antico Nuovo.
Do they sell that? Did they sell that at Departamento? Is that like is that owned by Newgard's Group, or what is it? Who's the designer?
It feels like that, doesn't it?
Oh,
it's mostly cashmere.
What is all right? So what is, obviously it's Italiano.
It's like a pasta-y, meaty kind of restaurant. The chef used to be, you know, he used to be at Key Spacca, which is a restaurant I do like. But my main beef was the food was okay. It wasn't great. The pasta, there was one pasta dish that was the meat in it. It was like a sausage or orchiette kind of vibe, but it had a very like pungent head cheese kind of feet smell to it. It was off-putting. We were lacking salt and everything like that. But the price we were doing a dry January. This is an A/B comparison, so the price is important, because we went to this restaurant Antico, and then we went to Rustic Canyon like a couple days later.
A Santa Monica classic.
Santa Monica classic. Just, you know, to figure out how to spend $1,000 on 2 meals in 1 week.
Yeah. That's the coolest thing you've ever done. Finally, something for me.
I know. So we're doing the dry January. So obviously no alcohol, and that's going to make the ticket price much lower at the end of a fine dining meal, right?
You would think, but sometimes, Jason, you can surprise yourself, and I feel like I'm about to be surprised right now.
So we got a $20 Caesar salad in a 3-inch ring mold. It was a salad made for a child or an infant. It was good, but it was very dinky.
Let me just say quickly that the kale salad at Indochine was plenty for 4 and also well priced. But continue.
It was a king's bounty.
It was. Continue.
Okay. I mean, the produce at this place obviously excellent, like Santa Monica Farmers Market, the best broccolini you've ever seen in the history of Earth.
Broccolini's a little bitter for me. I prefer just a classic broccoli, but continue.
So we got that. We got a couple pastas. We got and then we got a steak to share as our main, and then we got a scoop of ice cream and a chocolate budino for dessert.
Buongiorno. Okay.
So chocolate pudding, scoop of ice cream, a salad, 2 pastas and a steak. No alcohol. How much was the total bill after tax and tip?
$300.
$475.
Oh, TJ had to split this shit on his Chase and his Apple Card. He said he can't put this on one card. So yeah, I'll give you 2 cards, but they're both mine. But just split it on these if you could. Damn, bro, that's actually crazy, dude.
Okay, so $475, and this is a restaurant that is in this like area that it's on like Beverly, kind of where Koreatown meets Silver Lake. It's not the nicest part of town.
What's the parking situation?
They have expensive valet.
Okay, thank God.
But was
the vibe good? Was the ambiance good? Were they playing?
Yeah, the vibe inside was good. The clientele was good. The servers were like really good. They were like older kind of career servers, like professional.
Oh, I love that.
Guy wearing a nice sports coat.
Yeah.
You know, like knowledgeable staff, people that have been in the business. And I was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is wonderful.
But I think, Jason, you're the kind of person, though, that price really affects. Like, if that meal would have been $200, do you think you would feel different about it?
I would be let down. Well, because the steak itself, it was a market price steak.
Oh, we don't love to see the MP on the menu. We don't
love to see the MP on the menu.
We know the wallet's getting slapped when you see the MP.
Of course, but the steak was like $220, I think.
Bro, what? What did they do? Did they raise this cow in the Beverly Hills Hotel?
They raised the cow in the Beverly Hills Hotel.
How much did you say? How much was it? I'm sorry, $225?
$220 for one steak. And the problem when you do that is, well, there's a lot of problems, but the main problem is when you do a market price steak for $220, and it's just the steak. It's not like, here's the steak and it comes with all these sides and fixins and truffle sauce and,
of course,
or béarnaise, fucking caviar shit. It was just like, here's a steak. So the steak itself has to be, orgasmically perfect. You can't cook it incorrectly. It can't be a little over.
What was the marbling like, you think, on this?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was probably a dry aged steak, so it had a little funk to it, which is good. And it was cooked. They didn't ask how I wanted it cooked, so I assumed it was like, we cook it our special way, and that's it. Which is fine because I trusted him as a meat man, but it was a little overcooked, and you can't say anything. It's like, hey, can I get a new steak? I know this costs $220, but you guys are a little over. You can't uncook a steak, so it's already dead in the water. But then because it's like a hipstery restaurant where everyone has to brag and show off, they put some sauce on it.
I don't like where this is going.
That we don't want.
Yeah.
So I just want a steak with butter and salt. Maybe some rosemary, garlic, normal shit so I can taste the steak. But this had some kind of like anchovy, Alison Roman shit on there with like, a white person XO sauce. And I was like, I didn't, now I'm eating a $220 steak that tastes like anchovies and it's a little over. And it left a bad taste in my mouth. I was pissed. But then we went to Rustic Canyon and literally spent half that amount of money, had like 7-course meal, wine. They gave us a glass of champagne at the beginning of a meal because it was our birthday. Like, so nice. Everyone is cool. Half the price. And it's in Santa Monica in like an expensive neighborhood, a nice area.
Classic California cuisine, Jason, can't be beat. That's the reality. And
it's true.
It's really true. That's the only reason to live here besides when the sun is out, like today, is the fresh produce. When it's used properly, it's truly an art form.
That's what Rustic does, bro. They're like, here's a salad. It's some lettuce that we got down the street at the farmer's market, some shallots that were grown with care, and some, oil and vinegar. And you're like, this is the best salad I've ever tasted in my life. I don't know what the fuck you guys did, but it's all about the ratios with the vinaigrette. You know that, Chris.
I do. I'm a big ratio guy. So
You've been ratioed a few times.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. I've been the victim of this and the benefactor of this. So I understand both. I see both sides.
So in closing, Antico, don't go there. It's too expensive. Even if you're rich, it's not worth it. And just give an old classic Rustic Canyon a second glance.
That's great. I think we'll
Take
go
it
to
from
Rustic
TJ.
Canyon. I've been there once or twice in my life, but it's been years and years.
We'll go soon. We'll take the hens out for a nice night in Santa Monica. Mm-hmm. Maybe have a little coffee and go down, check out the seagulls down by the water.
Once I finally sell a script, Santa Monica, will feel different. I think.
Oh yeah, baby.
It doesn't really
nice.
feel. It feels foreign to me now because I'm a Hollywood outsider. But luckily, we're making moves, to rectify that.
Yeah. If you ever, fellas, if you ever see me living in Santa Monica, just look the other way.
Yeah, those aren't mad happy sweats I'm wearing. If you see me wearing mad happy, you didn't see me. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Oh, TJ. Well, excellent to hear from you. I feel like we've done 2 Sundays in a row not together, and I got to say I'm going through withdrawals a little bit, so I can't wait to be reunited.
We'll be reunited, Chris. Don't worry. We'll be in
lab.
the lab, and it'll be fine. And I also miss that because that means I now have to spend the next number of hours editing this conversation versus IRL. But that's okay.
No, I know.
It's okay.
I know. That's at least
Nothing a little wake and bake can, huh?
I was about to say, Jason's about to get he's having cookies for breakfast.
I'm about to take off and go to Mars. I'm gonna have,
all right, Pluto.
She's gonna be like, "What's for breakfast?" I'm getting a little hungry. I'm like, "Bitch, it's gelato."
All right, how long gone? We're back all week with more podcasts and
More podcasts, more exotic strains.
more exotic strains. That's what we do here. If you missed the Joe Ellison episode last week, I implore you to listen to it. Getting a lot. She was great. A lot of good feedback on that.
We talk about piss as well as Alexa Chong.
I mean, 2 of my favorite topics for sure.
My food groups.
No mention of Alex Turner. Thank God. Okay, let's go. How long gone, Jason? Enjoy the rest of your trip, and I'll see you when you return to the greater Los Angeles area.
Bye-bye.
Bye.